So this song is great. I love this song. This song is called Where the Wild Things Are. And originally, during this entire video about Where the Wild Things Are by Luke Combs, I was just going to talk about it, how much I liked it. But then I thought, that's fucking boring. You know what would be cooler? If I found a way to make discussing the song a little bit more interesting. So, I thought about it, and then I thought, Where the Wild Things Are. That's a book. I know that's a book. And I don't know if anybody's ever analyzed this song through the lens of, is this song like a send-up or a remake, a remix, a retelling of Where the Wild Things Are, the book. So, I'm gonna give you a a big rundown of Where the Wild Things Are, the song, and then I'm going to talk about how it is similar to the book. So, I'm gonna tell you what the book's, kind of give you a little bit of a plot synopsis first. This kid, troublemaker, he gets sent up to his room. He doesn't have any dinner. He starts to imagine himself on this, taking this journey to this island where there's monsters, and they're called wild things in the book. And then he is like crowned as like the king of all the wild things because his mom calls him a wild thing, right? So he becomes king, and then he gets bored of being king, and he wants to leave. And then he leaves, and he comes home to realize that his dinner that he didn't get to eat is still hot and on the table. Now that's the book. That's the entire book. It's very short, very sweet. If you want to read the book, go read it. It's from like 1960 something, so. I'm going to analyze the song Where the Wild Things Are through the lens of it being this parallel to Where the Wild Things Are, the book. So, let's begin. My big brother rode an Indian scout, black like his jacket, American spirit hanging out of his mouth, just like our daddy. So immediately, Luke Combs tells us that this brother of his drives a motorcycle, an Indian Scout motorcycle, wears a black jacket. I am assuming leather, because that's the type of thing you wear on a motorcycle, because it helps you not die from the motorcycle if it crashes. He smokes cigarettes. American spirits are cigarettes. So you immediately get this mental image of this badass rebel. So the immediate parallel I'd like to make is between the kid in the book and Nathan Max and Luke Combs' brother. So, is that they're both mischievous troublemakers that break the rules. Obviously, there's a different aged thing going on here. Max in the book is like max 6, and Luke Combs' brother could be anywhere from 20, from 20 something to 30 something. I don't know. So I'm assuming he's like 23, 25 in this song. So there's already something here. But continuing the song, he said, Luke Combs sings, he kick-started that back one night and broke mama's heart. He pointed that headlight west, out where the wild things are. So another interesting parallel here, Max goes on a boat out where the wild things are, and Luke Combs' brother takes his motorcycle out where the wild things are. So this is already pretty interesting. So continuing the song, he says, he'd call me up every couple of weeks from South California, talk about the desert and the Joshua tree, his pretty girl stories, and how he bought an Airstream trailer and a J45 guitar. Said, little brother, you will love it out here, out where the wild things are. So here, his brother is revealed to have a girlfriend, a mobile home, that's what an Airstream trailer is, and a J45 guitar. So you even get more of an image of this guy, Luke Holmes' brother. You could say he might be the wildest of all the wild things out where the wild things are, just like in the book. So, next, the song's chorus is up next. Its heart's on fire and crazy dreams. When the nights ignite like gasoline and light up those streets and never sleep when the sky goes dark out where the wild things are. Here he's describing Hollywood in Southern California. There's no real parallels to the book here, but there's still good world building because in this, where his brother lives, he also belongs here because he is also a wild thing, just like in the book. So there might actually be a parallel there, and I'm just dumb and stupid. So, continuing, I called my brother from the back of that plane. The second I made it, we started drinking on the strip in LA. And then it got crazy. It ended up at a house in the hills with some Hollywood stars, kissing on a bun in a backyard pool, out where the wild things are. So this is kind of like the plot of the book, right? A boy takes a voyage out to a faraway place and has fun with the inhabitants that are unlike anything he's ever seen before, and they have their fun, and they leave later, and the boy leaves later. Obviously, Luke Holmes, or whoever Luke Holmes is speaking from the perspective of, isn't Max, the brother is Max. But this serves to prove my point is that we're supposed to, like, when we heard this song, when it came out in like 2023, we were supposed to see the connection. Like, we were supposed to make the connection. Wait, this song is called Where the Wild Things Are. There's a book called Where the Wild Things Are. Maybe there's like a connection on why would he call it that book? Why would he say that? Why would it be the same thing? This is why. So, after the Where the Wild Things Are, he holds it up for a little bit, and then he goes into a bridge. Couple iron horse rebels, wild as the devil. I knew I had to move back east. Said goodbye to my brother at the end of that summer, but I knew he'd never leave it all. The devil is often depicted as a monster, and the things in the book are also monsters. And what are the brothers like him, the Iron Horse Rebels are? He's talking about him and his brother. They're both wild things, wild as the devil. They're the wildest of all the wild things because the devil is the wildest of all the wild things. It's literally the book. It's not literally the book, but it's pretty close to the book. So it's not the craziest thing to say that the brother is the wildest of all wild things, just like in the book. I'm telling you, this is the thing that we should have made the connection with. So then he gets into another chorus. Oh, it's hearts on fire and crazy dreams. Oh, where the nights ignite like gasoline. Instead of going down to light up those streets that never sleep when the sky goes dark, out where the wild things are. Instead of doing that, he goes, where the nights ignite like gasoline. And oh, them Indian scouts, man, they're built for speed. And oh, they said he hit that guardrail at 3:30. Lit up those streets that never sleep when the sky goes dark, and he still doesn't go out where the wild things are. So, so he still doesn't end the chorus or the song here. And we buried him out in the wind beneath the west coast stars. Out where the wild things are. Out where the wild things are. So his brother dies. Now in the book, Max comes back. But in this book, it's real life. Like, he actually goes to a place instead of imagining he goes to this place. And he dies. Because in the book, the monsters, I believe, using my brainy head, is supposed to represent what this kid is. These monsters are supposed to, like, be representative of, like, this kid's, like, the way he acts. And that's why he becomes the king of all wild things, is because he acts like them, but he acts like them more. So he becomes the king of the wild things. So the reason why the brother dies and Max doesn't, because Max is all dreaming this. He's imagining this in his room. And he comes back and his dinner's still hot. He didn't go nowhere. So what I think happens in the book is that this kid dreams up this whole scenario, but in the song, the Luke Holmes' brother goes there and acts like the people from the West Coast and acts like a wild thing and becomes kind of king of all wild things. He even gets his brother out there where the wild things are, and they have this grand time, but then maybe he tries to come back from where the wild things are, but he can't, because he is now a wild thing. He's a king of, he's like a wild thing. So, because it's not imaginary, because it's not in his head, he actually went there, he dies. And the reason why they don't bury him where he grew up, and they bury him out where the wild things are, is because that is what the brother is. He's a wild thing. They bury him where he belongs, out where the wild things are. Do you see my vision here? Like, this song is a lot like the book. It's a retelling. In my opinion, it's a retelling or a remix of this book. That's what I think. Because a child's overactive imagination, they might want to go out where the wild things are, but then they realize they have people that actually love them in the real world. That's what happens in the book. But when you're an adult and you never had this kind of childhood where you could have this experience, like have this imagination thing where you could go out where the wild things are, you grow up and you're like, you've been stuck in one place your whole life, and you want to move out and abandon everything you've ever known and abandon your mother. And in this scenario, in this case, he dies out where the wild things are. So yeah, this book and this song, I think people should have, back in 2023, really actually looked at the song and at the book, because if there's one thing I've learned from watching Gibby's Horror Homestead over the last couple of years, is that when something mentions another thing, that other thing is important to the something that mentions it. So this song, like saying where the wild things are, is not a coincidence, folks. And people never really look into the lyrics of country music, because it's usually just, I just want to catch my fish. But here, it's not just, I just want to catch my fish. It's a storytelling masterpiece that goes way further than I just want to catch my fish. So, in the end, I think Where the Wild Things Are is an amazing song, and it's a great retelling of the book Where the Wild Things Are, if Max was all grown up. So maybe Luke Combs' brother, or whoever Luke Combs is singing this perspective from, maybe his name is Max. I rest my case.